Hello everyone and welcome back to another Dev Update with me, Ross Simpson, Community Marketing Manager, and I'm joined with the one and only
Paul from Pavia.
Paul from Pavia. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good to have you, It's been an extremely busy month.
Yes.
Before we get into the big success that is the playground, talk to me a little bit about the Builder Tool. I know people are keen to hear about it.
Yep, Builder Tool is progressing very, very well. Very well indeed. It's a double-edged coin, really. We're a little later than we would have hoped, but the reason for that is because we've pretty much unlocked so much more potential in what we can achieve with it that we've actually decided to explore deeper parts of what we can do with some of the procedural. Wow. So it's a balancing act between, do we push it out now early, or do we actually just go a little bit further and hit some of those bars in terms of the wow factor and everything that we're trying to do?
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, if things go to plan, as this dev update is rolling, you'll be seeing some overlay footage of some of the smart objects inside the Builder Tool. I think specifically we have some footage around doors and around windows and stuff like that. But again, just to remind everybody that haven't watched previous podcasts, these smart objects are designed so that it's easy, far easier to build a 3D environment, and you don't have to become a full-blown 3D artist to do so. So there's ease of use is one of the main things, but at the same time, having an enormous amount of power from what you can do by simply just manipulating some sliders and some settings. And that's really the idea of it. There's a secondary benefit as well, which means Pavia, as a large open world metaverse made of user-generated content, can stream procedural data out of the cloud far quicker than any other technique that we know.
Oh, wow.
So what it means is it's fundamentally core to being able to build in real time, in runtime, the scenes that people have built. So there's a lot to it. Builder is going very, very well. Don't want to put a date on it at the moment. It's going to be a little later than we planned, sure. But we're hoping. You got to pick a priority. We decided to prioritize the playground, which we'll come on to. But just so everybody knows, and this is not a promise, we're having an internal look at could we get something done in the next 4 to 5 weeks. Awesome. So could we get that push done in that time? Sure. The answer to that may be no, but that's what we're doing an internal assessment. Now that the playground is done and it's live, we could turn our attentions to, right, let's get this first version of the builder out.
Nice. So Builder Tool coming a little later than planned, but hopefully with a lot more stuff to come straight off the bat. Yeah. Amazing. And then on to the big success of the month, which, by the way, this month has been absolutely crazy here at Pavia. Yep. No one has slept. Is the playground. Such a huge milestone for us. Yep. We said it'd be out in Q2. We got there. We made it happen. Yep. And it's come out. I want to start by asking you, what is something that has surprised you from the playground?
I think just the amount of feedback has been amazing. But I think it's less surprise and it's more validation that yes, this was a good idea to get this thing out there, because already in literally within 24 hours, but now a few days, it's already achieving exactly what we set out to do, which is we've got people in there, they're testing stuff, they're finding bugs, finding glitches, they're reporting them, they're making suggestions, they're telling us what they love. Overall, the reception's been phenomenally good, even with its limited, functionality. Absolutely across the board, everybody's saying this is great. They can see it as a starting point to something brilliant. Everybody's using text, everybody's using voice, everybody's using teleport to your friend, which we can come back to. But some of the simple features that are in there, but multiplayer is working. One of the so lovely as well to see the community that we've grown to know and love but just inside Discord, but now they're in their 3D form with voice. So I've had voice conversations with people that I've been talking to in Discord for the last 18 months and never actually heard them speak. And that's wonderful. And not only that, we had shout out to Kate's, by the way, big long-term fan of Pavia. She was in New Zealand. I was in the UK. We had someone else from the community in Canada. All three of us just stood there talking pretty much lag-free, walking around, exploring the world, pointing out different things, and just having a chat about the project. And again, we've had people that have been in our community for ages but don't know each other personally, going on a full-on glitch hunt and finding all the hacks.
Let me just tell you something. I spent a lot of time in that playground, and to wake up Monday morning and see people flying around yeah, it was absolutely crazy. I thought I found every bug and glitch in that game, and yeah, people still surprise us.
And I know, Ross, you like to pride yourself on being like the ultimate hacker.
I am.
You got nothing on
I have not.
Minmom and the community, so they've gotten in there.
So yeah, thanks. I'm out of a job, by the way. Thanks, mate.
And they found a way of like jumping on each other's shoulders and spamming the space bar and using various techniques. And before you know it, they've climbed to the sky.
And now flying's confirmed in Pavia. That's it. Yeah,
exactly. So now flying does exist, but it's been brilliant. But those guys never met each other. You know, obviously been in and out of Discord, but now they're collectively coming together. In this case, to do something really amusing, and videos are going up into it. It's just brilliant, and everything we hoped would come from it is starting to come from it. Also, we are changing the content of it, live ops style, no patch in the game. So
straight from the clouds.
Yeah, if you've been paying attention, you'd have seen scenes change. Literally already, we've changed the estate, we've changed one of the other scenes. No one's had their game patched, and people are going, wow, that's new. That wasn't here last night. And so that is working really, really well. And then, but we also have the capability of patching the game in a highly efficient way as well. So this is for like bugs and feature updates and stuff like that. So we already, even before we launched this playground, we already had a list of things that we knew we wanted to improve.
Yeah.
But, you know, we got it out there, and then as early as Wednesday next week, there'll be another patch. You'll see improvements straight off the bat. Some of them will be directly from feedback we've had from the community. Others were ones we already had planned. And I don't want to put a frequency on it, but I could totally see us patching this, you know, every other week easily, with improvements, new features, bug fixes, and so on and so forth. So we got big plans.
Plenty more to come. And like you were talking about, it's an incredible social place to go and to chat and to speak to people. If you haven't already downloaded it, please go to the website. It's live now. It's open indefinitely until we want to close it, and it won't be for a while. Lots of good stuff to come. And it's really just a great foundation to start from. What you're seeing really is the bare bones of Pavia, right?
Yeah, and what we're hoping as well, sooner rather than later, we're going to see, this is just at the moment full of phenomenal designs from Minmom, you know, user-generated content from the community, but you're going to see more and more of those scenes change. Even Minmom himself will probably be glad to see some other artists join the community, so he's not bearing the weight of the whole of the Pavia project. But you're going to see other communities from other very well-known NFT projects who will be coming in with builds, with their scene, with their crew, with their communities from Discord and so on and so forth, coming in and joining us. Yeah. So I could see this. We made a point of not hyping it. If anybody was watching, there was no hype, no FOMO, no mints, no NFT drops. We did none of that, and that was all deliberate because we just wanted to do a relatively quiet, soft launch, and then we build up and we build up and we build up from there. And it will get better and better and better every week, and then ultimately, at some point, we'll be very close to it being the full game. And then
there we are. I can't imagine that dev update. Lastly, I think anyone that speaks to me in Twitter and on Discord knows that one of my goals this year was to push for more communication and more transparency throughout Pavia. And Paul and I sit down a lot and talk about that and how we can do that.
Yep.
How are some of the ways going forward that we can be more transparent with our community on what we're building?
Well, first and foremost, the Dev Playground will have its own public roadmap on Trello. So you're going to see that, and I think that's live already, right?
Yeah, it is,
So we'll just make more of a point of pushing it out there, and I think even if you click on patch notes from the launcher, you'll see it'll go directly to it, I think. But there'll be a live Trello roadmap, and it will literally be, this is everything that's been released, these are releases to date, here's all the known bugs that we all know of, and if you report bugs that we didn't know of, you're probably going to see them appear there. We will have patch notes for every release, but then most importantly, we'll have what's up next and then what we're going to be focusing on in the future. And we're not going to put like times to it or anything like that, this quarter, that quarter. We'll just be saying, this is what's up next. And after a while, people will start to get a sense of cadence. Well, oh, they said that was up next. There it is. It's in the release. That was up next. This is the release. So it's a very public roadmap for the Dev Playground specifically. Now, just to clarify though, what we're focusing on the future obviously isn't going to include everything. but it will be like the near to mid-term future, right? We'll probably look at this next. We'll probably look at that next. But hopefully it's a way of people getting inside our minds and what we're up to from the dev playground perspective anyway.
So dev playground Trello boards, couple of cards close to your chest, maybe not going in. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Builder Tool coming out a little later than expected, but lots more on launch, which is amazing. The playground is live. Thank you guys so much for all your feedback, for everyone that jumps in, for everyone in the Discord and the Twitter. If you're new here, if this is the first time you're watching this video, please make sure to subscribe. Come join us. Everyone is welcome. We, always encourage all these communities to come in. Doesn't matter where you're from. It's just one big space. And that's all from me today. It's all from Paul. We'll see you next time.